everybody, Assalamualaikum and welcome back to another episode of Project Podcast X Syok, a collaboration with Miasa Malaysia. If you've been following since the first episode, mesti all dah tahu dah yang kita buat podcast ni sebab kita nak highlight tentang Astro Originals yang terbaru sekarang ni, yang mungkin agak heavy untuk anda yang tengah tengok, iaitu Project Exit. Every single episode that I watch, not only do I cry, but I also learn something from it. And that is why we have to dig deeper into the topics of mental health through this podcast. And of course, joining us today, we have the beautiful Puan Anita Abu Bakar, founder and president of Miasa Malaysia. Welcome back, Puan Anita.
Thank you so much, Kino.
And we have the girl playing Amy, the one and only Kimberly Chua.
Hi, really happy to be here.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm looking at Amy or I'm looking at Kimberly sebab I feel like you are Kim, Kim is you. You are Kim, you are Amy, Amy is Kim. You know, you guys embody each other macam tu kan.
It's a part of me, yeah.
But how do you feel being here today to talk more about your character?
I really am excited. I'm a bit scared, okay? I'm a bit scared.
Kenapa takut?
I've heard stories from you, Keanu.
No, mana ada nangis-nangis sebelum ni? Tak ada.
Tak ada. Oh, okay,
Itu
faham.
semua, you know, netizens nowadays can tipu macam-macam. Never trust, okay? Belum pasti jangan kongsi.
Tak apa, kita tengok apa yang kejadian ini.
Jeng, jeng, jeng.
Jeng, jeng, jeng.
Now, of course, every episode ada tema yang berbeza, and it's of course based on the specific episode that we're talking about. Today, we're going to dive deep into episode 3, and that is the episode where we get to know about Amy's backstory. And that is why today's theme is the power of the present moment, menerima realiti kehidupan pada waktu sekarang. Living in the present time, you know? Because I think when we think of mental health, kan, Kim and Puan Anita, it's either we are still very much focused on the past. Kita tak boleh nak maafkan diri kita, rasa macam macam mana aku nak move on? How do I set myself free when there were so many things that happened to me? There were so many things that I can't forgive myself about. Or it's us overthinking about the future yang tak sampai lagi. Orang kata fear of the unknown, you know? And it's real, kan? So we're going to talk to Amy first lah, okay?
Oh, you talk to Amy, sekejap.
Amy, get in here, Amy. Tolong
Okay,
masuk
Amy.
dalam roh tu, masuk dalam Kimberly sekarang ni. You mentioned masa press conference hari tu, masa launching.
Alamak.
You cakap that it was pretty difficult because you're not a mum. You know, you've never felt how it's like to be a mother.
Betul.
Tapi you kena main seorang, orang kata teen mum.
Yeah.
You know, how was it like for you to really go into it? What was the most difficult part to enter Amy's character?
Okay, wow. I think before that, I would like to say that, like, you know, being a mom is a challenge and a struggle on its own. But being a teen mom, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 10 times harder, 10 times more difficult. You know why? Because you don't only face the struggles of being a mother, the challenges of being a mother. That's already a challenge itself. You know, you've never, especially if you've never been a mother for the first time, you know, you have to take care of a baby, another life, raising the kid, financial issues if you have any, and all that stuff. But being a teen mom, you face stigma from society. Not only stigma from society, if let's say, because you're a teen mom, technically you're underage lah, unless you're 18 and above, you know. So anything younger than that technically is illegal. And in Amy's case, that was the reason why she was put in asrama akhlak, because by law it's wrong lah. So that's the thing, you know, you face shame that's given to you by everyone around you. Her neighbors, her family is embarrassed because of what she did. And that's even adding more to the pain that she already has to go through, you know. Because to her, it's an honest mistake. You know, it's an honest mistake. She is young. She had her baby at 13. 13. When she was 15, when Amy is 15, her child was already 2 years old. Angel was already 2 years old. So she had her at 13. That means she got pregnant at 12.
So what age was Amy in Project Exit?
15.
Oh, 15. Ya Allah, mudanya.
And Amy and Angel is 2.
Yep.
And imagine kan, like you mentioned just now, being a mum itself dah susah. Lepas tu nak kena juggle with the hormonal changes of being a teen mum. You are literally going through all these hormonal changes as a teenager. And then tiba-tiba motherhood came juga. Anak pula kena ambil, you know, because you're too young. Did you have to research a lot about it? Macam baca articles tengok videos pasal teen pregnancy, teen mums?
I read up a lot. Before this, actually, ironically, when I was a teenager myself, Now don't come at me for this, but I dulu kan macam kita selalu tengok YouTube channel gitu.
Yeah.
So kebetulan I suka tengok family channel tau. So bila you tengok family channel, then the algorithm starts to show you more family channels. And a lot of the channels that I watch, usually YouTubers Western. So Western is more open, and I would say Asians, right? So they have a lot of teenage pregnancy, and they're not married pun. So macam benda-benda macam tu, but their family is happy, and then they start a YouTube channel. The culture there is different.
Kalau Malaysia tak boleh relate lah. Kena buang keluarga terus buka YouTube channel cakap pasal ni.
Yeah, so that's one thing. I think I feel like in Western countries, teenage pregnancy is destigmatized a lot as compared to in Asian countries. In Asian countries, you discriminate a lot. Yeah. So but anyway, back to my point, right? I was watching a lot of these channels, and a lot involves teenage pregnancy. Macam, wait, she's like 16 and she has a kid, and that's a YouTube channel, they're vlogging, you know. So I watched a lot of that when I was younger.
It's like you've been prepared for the character
surprisingly,
subconsciously, tanpa dia sedar masa muda dia tertengok all these things.
Yeah,
kan?
so when I got Amy, I view balik semua channel-channel yang I tengok masa I was a teenager lah. That was one of the things that I did, and then other than that, I watched a lot of baby videos on TikTok, and then just, you know, try to get the feeling. But I think my inspiration and the person who kind of showed me the most of how Amy as a teenage mom, as a young mom, as a mother essentially, is Ika sebenarnya.
You serious?
I'm serious.
You tengok cara dia sebagai seorang ibu?
Sebagai seorang ibu, you know, the way she talks about her child.
Oh, by the way, Ika is the director and writer and showrunner, by the way.
Yes, Ika is my director, and she's lovely. And a part of her, these are her words, not mine, a part of her is in every one of the characters.
That is so true.
Yes. And for me, I see that especially when she had her kid early. You know, and every time on set, you know, she would want to go home early. She miss her kid, you know, she misses her baby, and I'm like, seeing that, I got a sense of what Amy feels. Yeah, seeing her, understanding it from her point of view, and if there's certain scenes that I cannot do, you know, she'll hold me, she'll talk to me, she'll give me, imagine this.
Dia macam transfer the energy.
Dia transfer
from a mom to another mom.
Yeah, so
you know, fictionally.
And then another thing is when I was 19, just 2 weeks after my late dad passed away, I lost my cat. I didn't lose him, sorry. He went missing. Okay. Yeah, and that time it was a double loss for me. I didn't know where he go. I didn't know, and then my dad just recently passed away kan. So when he came back, he cannot walk properly. So I had to bring him to the hospital. And mind you, at that time I was facing a lot of financial difficulties because my dad just recently passed away. So having to bring my cat to the hospital, they told me, I have to either do the surgery for 2,000 or he dies.
Or put him down
Yeah, they didn't say
put
him
him down.
down.
As in macam naturally
Put him down, I rasa kena bayar juga.
Ya tak iya kan? So either way, dua-dua tu, it was like a tight situation for you.
It was a tight situation.
Takkan nak lepaskan dia. At the same time, mana nak cari, nak cekal RM2,000.
Yeah. But it's not technically my cat lah. Dia memang balik rumah setiap hari. Yeah, so it's a stray cat that I take care, that I feed, that I love.
And I know you love animals.
Oh my god, he was there for me when I was at my lowest tau. And he would teman me. Oh my god. So I couldn't have the heart to not let him live. Yeah. So that time, I ingat lagi 2000 to 2002 je lah yang I ada, yang I've been working ever since, you know, I've been supporting my family. That was all I had. My mom literally like, no. That time I was like, it's my money.
Yeah. So did those traumatic experiences help you with Amy?
Yes, because that was when I really felt like I have to save his life. He's my baby. Yeah, he's my baby until today lah.
That's why you see, like, you might have not been a mom, you know, like to a child, but to a cat, and still, you know, animal lovers love their animals just how they would love a human being, betul tak kan? Puan Anita.
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen different types of people facing mental health issues in Amy's situation juga kan? When you saw her portrayal as Amy, did it remind you of anyone you've come across before in that situation?
I think what Amy went through in the real world, banyak orang lalu sebenarnya. So teenage pregnancy is quite common. Tapi for that age group, maybe not so.
Okay.
Sebab 12 and 13 is very young.
Right.
So mungkin itu perbezaannya dekat situ. But I think what is very important in Kino, if we want to relate it to mental health sebenarnya adalah the post, what happens after. Okay. Sebab what Amy went through, sebenarnya benda tu kalau kita betul-betul mendalami, dia banyak sebenarnya Kino. Dia bukan senang untuk kita, mungkin tadi Kim dah cakap banyak dekat that part, tapi sebenarnya to go through the pregnancy itself, one, because you know benda tu dah salah satu, so the guilt that you feel, right, that's one. Two, the hormonal changes, exactly what you said. Tapi tiga, untuk nak melalui fasa 9 bulan dengan keadaan perasaan bersalah yang sangat tinggi, mungkin sistem sokongan kurang, and then tak berkahwin, you know, banyak benda. So that in itself is already very traumatic. Kemudian dalam masa yang sama kena masuk kepada asrama insan tu, and then you know that your child is not with you, and there's uncertainties, walaupun pada awalnya kita nampak Amy ada perception bahawa she will always be with the kid is in safe hands, and then she will get married eventually, you know. Itu adalah persepsi dia, walaupun kita nampak sebenarnya rakan-rakan yang lain tahu bahawa maybe that's not going to be it. Betul? So for me, when I'm watching it, it's more of what happens after tu. Sebab apa yang berlaku selepas adalah the trauma that we see in the work that we do. Sebab dia bukan mudah Kino, untuk kita sebagai seorang ibu, tak kira kita teen mom ataupun kita mom, to let go of a child that you have created that bond for that 9 months, and untuk melepaskan. Sebab in the real world, kalau you are a teen mom, you lepaskan anak you, because if you don't have a support system ataupun keluarga you tak terima, what can you do?
Can't even raise the child.
You can't even raise the child. And of course, if you are that young, tak suka nak pakai you are not fit, tapi you are not equipped. I think that's a better word.
True.
You are not equipped to take care of the child pada waktu tu. So itu yang, you know, wearing that Miasa hat, of course that is what I saw as I'm watching it.
Right. And like when we see Amy's character, dia complex sebab pada awalnya kita tak nampak seorang yang scarred. You know, I sampai macam like, kenapa Amy masuk asrama akhlak ni before we knew your story? Because you look macam happy-go-lucky. Macam everything is great. Oh yes, anak I akan bersama dengan I one day apa semua. But over time, we get to see different layers of Amy. Di mana dia sebenarnya she's very emotionally damaged about it, you know.
Tapi if you are part of the work, you dah tahu dah sebenarnya. Because how she is from the very beginning, you know she's scarred.
How can we tell these signs?
Because she is macam overly protective, dia macam sangat happy, sangat accommodative towards Jannah. So you know yang sebenarnya dalam diri dia tu dia ada benda. Sebab tu dia macam tu. That is why the way she was daripada awal tu begitu disebabkan dia faham. So she wanted Jannah to feel kan, dia nak Jannah rasa macam okay, it's fine, you know. Maybe you feel you're kind of trapped in here kan, bila Jannah masuk dalam the bilik and Amy was explaining it to her dan semuanya. Tapi sebenarnya Amy was trying to make macam soft landing lah, dia nak bagi kepada Jannah pada waktu tu. So it was her protectiveness tu that I saw daripada awal.
Could that also be a projection of how she wished she was treated?
Could be, possibly. Sebab kita pun tak tahu how it was before, other than daripada Ibu Zan punya orang kata insights kan. Tapi rasanya by the time Amy masuk, mungkin dah much better lah kalau kita nak compare Ibu Zan punya time dulu compared to the time when all of them were there.
But I think to answer your question, Kianu, actually yes. Because I think essentially Amy as a mother, she knew her drive was to be the mother that her mother never
was to her.
Itu pun you juga.
Kan later pun ada satu scene kan yang macam itu dia jumpa balik. Mana boleh bagi tahu? Lupa ni pada episod 3.
Tak boleh bagi tahu
boleh. Dah habis.
Boleh. Oh, dah habis dah.
Boleh.
Oh ya, okay.
There was a scene later on when she met her mum again.
Yes.
Kau it's a flashback. I tak ingat
No,
dah.
it's not a flashback. She actually
she berjumpa.
yes, bila it was insan tutup. So
yes.
They had to go back for 2 weeks and she went to her hometown lah.
Itu macam closure lah untuk Amy sebenarnya kan. Like she had to give herself that closure. Sebab orang lain takkan buat macam tu untuk dia.
Yes.
That was a very big scene lah, to be honest kan.
Kenapa Amy hold on, from my perspective as I'm watching, kenapa dia hold on very tightly is because benda tu yang bantu dia untuk berpegang, untuk sustain dalam asrama insan tu.
Okay.
That hope, that hope that, okay, when I come out, this is going to happen. I'm going to see my child. My child is in safe hands. I'm going to get married.
Yeah.
So, dia ada benda yang dia boleh look forward to. So, imagine kalau dia tak ada benda ni, she has no anchor sebenarnya.
That is true. Nanti
So,
lagi macam bila aku nak keluar. So, ni macam, it's okay. Habiskan term ni, I'll be reunited dengan Angel. Dengan Angel.
Betul.
And I think that's what most of us do. Subconsciously, kita selalu hope for, like, there's an end point to something.
Betul.
Kita macam cling on to something to make us optimistic sikit. Like, tak apalah, aku tengah serabut ni. But it's okay kan? Mungkin by the end of this week, I'll be okay again. Macam
We're
tu kan?
hoping for the rainbow after the rain.
For the rainbow after the rain.
So that's why she keeps on macam knitting and doing something for Angel. So benda tu yang
Keeps her going.
keeps her going. Yes, that's the word.
Now, this ties back to the whole staying in the present. Because sometimes kita ni either we are too scared of what's coming or we are looking forward to something that's not certain, kan? How do we navigate around this, Pan Anita,
Okay. I think that's a very important question sebab there are a couple of things. One, kita cakap pasal benda ni lah, kan, Kim. Be mindful. That means whatever we do, we must live in the present. Sebab if we don't live in the present, we miss out on opportunities, on being happy because kita anxious.
Yeah.
You just said two things tadi. Satu is anxiety, satu is depression sebenarnya.
Yeah.
Depression is when we live with the past.
Okay.
Okay, so that's depression.
Right.
Anxiety adalah when you have fear of the future.
Okay.
Which 99% of the time doesn't happen pun.
Right.
What we worry about sebab kita overthink, kita worry, kita become anxious, there's a lot of fear. And when there is a lot of fear, then you lose that opportunity to grow. Sebab kita takut, I don't want to do this, I'm scared. I'm not good enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. So anxiety and depression coupled together, that's horrid, man. That's difficult. So itulah sebabnya kenapa kita kena live in the present. Sebab kalau tak, all these thoughts that we have is going to stop and hinder us from moving forward.
Right.
So kita tak grow lah maknanya.
Yeah.
And kita sama macam asrama insan, kita akan rasa trapped. We are trapped, and that's exactly what happened to all of them sebenarnya.
Yeah. Macam Kim sendiri, do you have any personal experience? I mean, it could be anxiety or it could be depression from something you couldn't let go of previously.
Yeah, honestly, I would have to admit that yes, I did not grow up well. I had a lot of struggles growing up. I'm in a better place now, I would say. And one of the difficulties that I had to face a lot when I was young is because my dad was sick for half of my life.
Right.
Yeah, so financial issues was a staple lah in my family, So growing up, having to save a lot, growing up, having to always worry about money,
Right.
Yeah, we could get by, but we didn't have a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one of the things and then when my dad passed away, that was worse because I was left with debt. Because Chinese funerals are very expensive. Yeah,
I heard.
They are very, very, very expensive. That left me in debt.
Just curious, just out of curiosity, how expensive could it be? 20,000?
Crazy.
Just for the funeral itself?
Well, technically,
because dia ada banyak.
The grave is 10K.
Wow.
Yeah, the grave is 10K. If you opt for cremation, it's cheaper. It's that including sebab Chinese we have a wake tau. So a wake is where you leave the body for the friends and family to come and pay their last respects.
Okay.
So you usually leave it for either a day, 3 days or a week.
Okay.
Yeah, so the longer the more expensive lah.
Right.
Yeah, so we left it for 3 days because I have my dad from his previous marriage, he has 2 other children, so they are flying, they working overseas, so they have to come back, yada yada yada. So that 3 days cost more,
right.
And then didn't want to go through cremation, want to bury instead, so her 10K over there. So macam-macam lah.
That's
sampai
a lot of
that
money.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, back to your...
Yeah, so financial difficulties is something that I struggled with a lot as a child.
Yeah.
And actually not really as a child lah, until literally before I started out in the industry. So I was always working part-time, constantly, just chasing money lah.
Yeah.
And I feel that actually left an impact on me even until today, because if you ask anyone, Keanu, the first thing they'll say about me is I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic. I work every day. Yeah.
Even
and
till now, that
even until now.
cannot leave you, even though you're in a
Yeah.
better place now.
Yes, because I started out as an extra. So as an extra in the industry, you're paid like what, 80,
Oh,
100,
yes.
120. But that was a lot of
Peanuts.
money to me because as compared to working as a promoter, you have to stand 12 hours and there's KPI to reach, and then you can actually borang dengan orang. So being an extra was just heaven to me at that time. Because I get to sit, I get to act, I get to do what I want, just and free food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was making 3,000 a month at least because I was working every day. Every day. And that, because I started out like that in the industry, until today I have this, I admit my mom hates it when I'm jobless at home because
you
I'm
get
very
anxious. She's like me.
I'm very
With the
anxious.
same.
You can't have time on your hands.
I do not want to fall back into the time where I had financial difficulties. Yeah, so even though I'm at a better place now, even though I save a lot,
Yeah.
I do not spend. Every time I want to spend, I'm like, you know what, let's just save this. Even though I can afford it.
Dia macam trauma response mungkin ya.
Mungkin.
Dia macam the fear. Because admittedly, being in this industry, it's not fixed. Our
It's not
income is
fixed.
not
It's
fixed.
not secure.
So that makes me very, very anxious.
Even till now kan, padahal I feel like this is a classic example of like things are clearly better for you now, but you are still, orang kata macam ni, held back by the past.
Yeah.
Sampai contohnya dulu kita nak pergi holiday tak boleh, sekarang we can afford it but we're so scared sebab berjinak-jinak sangat, every tiny cent matters.
Yeah.
Kita nak buat rambut dekat, even if like your friend, you earning more, pergilah buat rambut dekat salon meter sikit. No need lah, aunty dekat dengan rumah I lagi murah, So it kind of it's like a mental prison mungkin ya Puan Anita.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is this something that's common in a lot of cases?
It is, but before that, Kino, if Kim, if I may ask, so during these times that you were growing up and the hardships that you faced, what was the most difficult and that left mungkin a more kesan yang sangat teruk dalam diri Kim sendiri? That maybe that's something that you don't wish for other people or even your enemy, contoh.
I mean, growing up having financial difficulties, I feel this is where, as a person, I believe that every situation that happens to you, you can take it either badly or positively.
Okay.
Now, I was driven a lot by, I feel like, my mom, honestly, because my mom, when she had me, she stopped working.
Okay.
So, and I'm an only child, in the family, aside from my dad's two other children from his previous marriage.
Yeah.
So, if he was not working, she was not working, I had to work.
Someone has to work.
I had to work. Yeah, I had to take care of her. I had to take care of her. So that pushed me a lot. I really had like no time to actually be in a space where like, kenapa hidup aku macam ni? Kenapa aku tak dilahirkan dalam family yang lebih berada?
You had those thoughts, eh?
I did not have time to have those thoughts.
Oh, tak ada masa pun nak fikir macam tu.
I did not. I literally did not.
Sebab
because
survival mode aja. Yang you tahu you have to do something with the family. Kau tak, we're gonna die.
Yeah. Dia macam yup. Like, I have to earn, I have to eat, right? Oh, and COVID was bad.
COVID you tak masuk Dewi Remaja lagi?
Belum.
Oh, belum.
I started out in the industry after COVID.
Oh, right. Right.
So COVID was bad. Oh, that was even worse. I had 200 ringgit in my bank account to buy groceries, and I finished all of that in one day.
Yeah.
So it was just bad. It was very mentally taxing at that time. And I would say, I do not wish this upon anyone. Yeah. And I understand how you can feel so desperate. When you have really, you don't see the light lah.
Yeah,
you don't see the light, you don't see opportunities, you don't see hope, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. But what I would say to everyone is that even if it's a little bit, even if what you do, even if there's a little food, even if there's a small job, whatever, there take it, do it. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Because the only thing that you can hold on to is actually the hope, to live another day. Yeah.
I think it's interesting kan, Kino, and the reason why I asked is because at Miasa kita banyak buat outreach. So one of the outreach initiatives that we do is to our homeless homeless friends.
Right.
Okay. So homeless friends on the streets. And then when you look at them, every time bila kita pergi, then kita ada, of course adults banyak, OKU, orang tua, the elderlies, and then ada children as well.
Yeah.
And then you think to yourself, how did the children end up here? Kind of thing kan. And then bila kita pergi, banyak daripada orang Kim, for the information of everyone, kalau korang tak pernah pergi jumpa homeless folks dan sebagainya, many of them tak pernah buat health assessment pun. And they walk around with so berjenis-jenis dan pelbagai penyakit.
Sebab they can't afford
They
to
can't
kan.
afford and they cannot access. And not only that, orang kata, oh pointa, tapi kan ada klinik kesihatan dan sebagainya and very minimal fee. Yes, but you must understand, it is a social determinant when we talk about transportation.
Right.
Betul, you have it available.
Yep.
It is it might be accessible, tapi it's not accessible untuk orang yang tak ada transportation and money. Betul, to access the service. And kita nak kena faham, these services must be on a timely manner. Betul? When you need it, katalah accident, kau kena terus pergi hospital. Bukannya tunggu bulan depan, minggu depan, whatever, right? So these are the challenges that I see. And I was just wondering kan, sebab bila dengar Kim punya cerita ni, because we've heard so many stories that bila Kim kata, okay, you didn't have time to process, mungkin kan. Tapi for a lot of people, the trauma lives in you. And then one day it will explode. So kita panggil benda ni, macam kalau mungkin Kinu kata tadi, maybe it's a delayed response. But that is exactly what delayed PTSD is all about. So it becomes complex PTSD. Sebab benda tu lambat.
Sebab kita tak treat it early,
Bukan kita tak treat it early juga, sebab kita mungkin tak tahu.
Tak perasan pun kita PTSD tu.
Dan also mungkin benda tu datang lambat. Sebab kita cuba cope. Kita macam, you know, you apa kita panggil? Macam benda tu dekat bawah ni.
Kita sweep it under the rug.
Macam sweep it under the
while.
carpet. Macam tu. And we try to cope because we feel, okay, I got to do it. I got to do this. If I don't work, somebody doesn't eat. If I don't work, somebody will die. If I don't work, this will happen. So, kita tak ada ruang pun. So we're just working and kita fikir macam it's not about me anymore, but it's for all these other people. So itu yang berlaku. But before you know it, one day it will catch up. And when it catches up, this is the challenge. How do you cope? What do you do? Because kita jangan ingat benda yang kita lalu ni tak ada effect on us, Kino.
Oh, memang betul.
It will affect us. It
Maybe
may
not
come
now, but later.
Betul.
Kan?
Dia bukan macam a lot of people. Your loved one die. Oh, wanita saya tak boleh nangis. Oh, I don't feel anything. Oh, I feel numb. But after several years, then it hits you, then you collapse. Then now what do you do?
But that means, is there any way to detect it early? Because sometimes we don't notice this. You know, we don't notice that we're actually having a PTSD that we are storing, kan? Because memang bila dah terlambat ataupun
susah.
Lambat sikit, dah susah.
Betul.
Semakin kompleks. But dia dah rupture, meletup everywhere.
Betul.
And then we're like, what am I going to do? The trauma lives in me already.
Yes.
Is there even a way to like curb it earlier?
Definitely. I mean, that's why knowledge is so important.
Right.
You must acknowledge that what you're feeling is pain.
Okay.
Pain too. And the thing is, expressions of pain are all different. Different people express pain differently. So mungkin the way I express moody. Mungkin Kim punya way of expressing, okay, I just numb it and do whatever. Mungkin, mungkin your expression of pain is anger. Apa je orang buat, semua you marah. Ataupun some people can be maladaptive. They do all the negative things. Pergi minum lah, pergi isap dadah lah, pergi whatever.
Coping
you just
mechanisms,
it's all coping mechanisms, but it's a negative response to it. So you numb yourself because you don't want to feel the pain. So if you are numbing yourself, Kino, that answers your question. They know they're feeling pain. But you don't want to feel the pain.
That's really a conscious decision actually, kan?
It is.
And you know why are you doing that? Because you are battling with something sebenarnya, kan?
Semua orang battle something. Tapi cara tu.
Berbeza.
So kita nak kena tahu. That's why I always say be kind. Because we can't see what battles people are going through.
Never
But
know
people,
the pain.
kita tak tahu. And pain tu satu, but the depth of the pain tu.
Oh my
Mungkin
goodness.
ke bawah ni kita tak nampak. Betul, kita nampak macam tip of the iceberg lah. Kita nampak iceberg dekat atas. Kan? Kat bawah yang besar ni, kita tak nampak. Lepas tu kita terus macam nak jadi Tuhan. Oh, kau macam ni, kau ni, kenapa ni, kenapa tu. So this is what it is.
Be kind. I love
kind.
what you said, you know. Also sebab we don't know if how a person is could be their current coping mechanism. We don't know. Kita always expect yang macam, kalau aku deal with grief should be in this way. How come clearly you're not dealing with it. You have no right to say it to people because they are dealing with it differently, kan? Whether it's a healthy coping mechanism ataupun tidak, kan? You know, when I heard Kim's story tadi, it feels like we are similar in so many ways tau. In my case pula pun sama. After my parents got a divorce, I had to be the instant breadwinner of the family lah, you know. But at that point, again, I just fikir pasal survival je. I was not angry at anybody or anything. I was just like, you know what, ini takdir aku. But even till now pun, I'm not mad to either one of my parents or whatever. You know, I believe that everything dah tertulis. You know, it's fated for us, written that way. Tapi in 2019, when I got depressed for the first time, I dapat my anxiety attack. I was telling Puanita this earlier in the previous episode. When I met my psychiatrist, after a few appointments, he was telling me this stuff. He said, look, we cannot pinpoint specifically what is causing these episodes of depression, anxiety. But based on what I've heard about you, you are doing so much. At the time, I was 21 or 22. You are doing so much as a 22-year-old that an average 22-year-old shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
You are like, you dah beli rumah for family. Like, you might think like, oh my God, this is a good achievement. But logically, like a 22-year-old shouldn't think about these things. Beli rumah family, knowing that like if tiba-tiba like, oh my God, I gotta take a sick leave, but like, oh my God, kan tak cukup gaji, macam mana aku bayar rumah?
Oh my God.
Stuff like that.
Betul.
And I denied it when he said that. I was like, no, I feel fine, doctor.
I feel happy. Okay. I'm perfectly happy with my life.
Yeah.
Faham.
Kan? So kita macam like, tak, doctor, I don't think that's a problem. My doctor was like, my doctor, I pun taklah memaksa terima opinion tu. Cuma at that time, I just didn't want to believe it. Because I said, no doctor, honestly, I would know if I'm angry about this.
Were you offended?
I kind of was.
Yes.
I was like, doctor, tak lah. He said, no, but think about it, you know. You're like, you work a lot. Just like you. I pun tak boleh tak kerja. Dapat job. I pernah cancel a family holiday. I dah book because ada an MC job came in and I was like, I should take this because you know lagi penting. This is for survival of the family.
Oh my God.
And these are the things that bapa-bapa in their 30s yang dah ada 2 anak would think about. Yang macam, aku tak boleh dah. Zaman-zaman kita enjoy dah over. But I feel like we never really had a youth in that sense. Because
I would say,
you pun because kita macam at an early age, we are put through this circumstance, you know.
We had to grow up early.
But lately, I dah mengaku. Bila jumpa my doctor the last time, I told him, I was like, to be honest, doctor, now in retrospect, I think that could be one of the causes. I wouldn't say that is the only cause. But logically, it contributed. If something is against the norm of that age or what you're supposed to do, apa semua tu, it will cause you some sort of trauma.
But you know, mentioning that, you know, we never had a youth, you know, I kind of feel like that, honestly, it may not affect us, but that does affect certain people, tau, you know, because you do feel like you have a certain part of your life that you lost, that you didn't get to experience. Now, I probably would say this, I did try what a normal youth person would do, and I realized, being 24 now, I realized that, okay, you know what, it's a time of a pass. I do not want to go through it. I do not need to do it. So I have accepted the fact that, yes, I may have not done what a normal 18 to 22-year-old would have done. But I am really grateful and happy for the opportunities that I have in my life. And I'm grateful for where I am. You know, so I let go of the fact that I may not have a normal nak pula university. Time I kecil, I punyalah bayangkan nak pergi prom lah, nak pergi
sama. I uni pun tak, I degree pun tak buat, aku terus kerja.
Oh my God, I had to drop out.
Right.
Yeah, so that time I was like, oh my God. First of all, before dropping out, my dream university was Summer University tau. I grew up and I grew up with the hope that I would get a scholarship. But then I'm a, how do I say this without sounding, I'm a top student lah. So me hoping to get a scholarship is not that far-fetched lah. But I tell you, competition is crazy, okay? So me top student pun not top student enough to get a scholarship.
I understand your point. I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes. And then macam nak masuk sama university, dia punya competition. And then, you know, I wanted to join their performing arts course. But I didn't get to do that. Then I got into university, but financial struggles, yada. I had to drop out of university. Didn't think that I could make it in the industry sebab university was my jalan, you know. So, like I said, some things in life you have to kind of let go. Even though I wanted that whole uni life, you know, dengan kawan, do all the assignments. I was so rajin doing my assignments when I was actually in university kan. You know, I like that, you know, but
so tak sempat habis?
Tak sempat habis. In 1 year je. After that, I dropped out. So, yeah, that's the thing. You know, you have to actually realize in life that sometimes your route may not be how you planned it out to be or how you want it to go.
Yeah.
You may miss out on certain experiences that any other normal person, not really normal person lah, that I would say is the norm for a certain age.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to be happy.
Yeah.
Kind of
Grateful lah.
and also macam, you know,
Accept the fact that it was not made for me. You know what to do kan? Because apabila kita nak the what if, what if I went to university? What if I went to prom apa semua kan?
Jom pergi prom.
Let's go. Dengan geng-geng 25-26 tahun lah ya. Delete. Dengan wanita sekali.
Jangan. But I think it's also important because that realization will drive you forward. Nampak tak?
Yeah.
That these missed opportunities because of the circumstances too. Tapi you grow faster. You mature lebih awal, and these experiences shape you or build you to who you are today kan. And I think whatever stories that you have for people who go through adversities are very important, but they can be inspired through these stories. Sebab if they are going through hardships at this current moment, listening the stories of you guys going through it, tapi today coming out, you know, being who you are today, I think it's inspiring sebenarnya.
Not an easy journey kan, tapi alhamdulillah I feel like we have come to terms with it.
Kan?
You know, you have to. I feel like if not, sampai bila kan? Now the main question before we wrap up this episode, Anita. You mentioned about mindfulness, and that is something that I really love, and I've been trying my best to master. But I think it's an ever ongoing battle, you know. But I feel like I'm getting better at it. I feel like you probably are as well right now, you know. Being more present, you know, no longer being angry about the past or things we cannot change or things that we don't know will happen or not in the future. Macam mana kita nak achieve mindfulness, to be present? It sounds easy, macam jangan fikir jauh sangat, tak payah nak fikir benda tak sampai lagi, or tak payah nak fikir the past. But what is the best way to do that, Puan
I think
Anita?
the first thing is continuing, and Kim, in anything that we do is to be intentional. I rasa intentional tu dia anchor kita sebenarnya. Sebab kadang-kadang bila kita buat benda macam buat je lah. So we're not intentional in that sense. Tak ada purpose, macam tak ada purpose. So kita buat sekadar mungkin disuruh buat ke. So in whatever that we do, we must be intentional. Tu satu. Tu, you must be fully present. Okay. Sebab bila kita cakap pasal mindfulness, it is being fully present. Contoh, mungkin contoh, what do you like to eat?
Sushi.
Okay. When you eat the sushi, macam mana kita nak mindful bila makan sushi ni, is to makan sushi, imagine the texture. Be immersed in the rasa. You know? Macam tu. So when you are mindful, even in makan sushi, nothing can bother you dah. You see? So kalau dia punya, you are so focused in it. So kalau mungkin ada ASMR sikit, mungkin kalau kita makan macam coklat, buka sneaker, bar ke, you know. So you imagine the sound, the smell, the taste, the texture. Itulah mindfulness.
Interesting.
A very easy exercise of a mindfulness technique, grounding exercise is the 5 senses. Betul?
Okay.
Selalu kalau orang dengar benda ni, orang macam apa benda tu? Doesn't even work. Bunyi macam darjah satu.
Deria.
Tapi it's so important to bring you back to the present.
Wow.
So the 5 senses is, katalah kita imagine sekarang ni. Okay. Kino, what are the 5 things you can see?
Puan Anita, Kim, there's a plant at the back there. We've got Izol, we've got Adam, we've got Azmi, and also Aisha.
Okay. I just asked you what you can see, betul? Did you think about anything else?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
And then you go to the next one. 4 things that you can hear.
Okay. Puan Anita's voice ada dengar macam and a few other things.
Betul?
Yeah.
And then 3 things that you, what's your next sense? 3 things that you can touch.
This furniture, myself, your heart through this podcast. My hair and my baju texture.
2 things you can smell.
Izul punya kentut, kamu makan petai ke apa, Izul punya kentut. I can smell the air conditioner in the room. I can smell positivity. Okay.
Banyak.
Yeah.
1 thing that you can taste.
My saliva.
Mungkin pagi tadi makan apa ke. So you see, when you do that, you are betul-betul you are grounding yourself, you are living in the present moment, and then you're counting kan, betul?
Yes.
5, dia kena 5. Betul, dia
memang kena
4. Dia kena 3 because you're counting downwards.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Betul, so it's all your senses coming together. So that is how you stay. So itu teknik, itu tools.
Oh.
Sebab tu penting untuk ada tools ni so that you can, sometimes people do, okay, count forward, count backwards. Spell your name forward, spell your name backwards. Ni semua adalah tools sebenarnya.
That means even breathing pun yang macam kita punya yang 4 seconds.
Yes, 4 square breathing.
4 square breathing. Breathe in.
Sama.
And then
pause, 4 seconds.
4 second exhale.
And then
pause lagi.
Yes.
Itu pun you're bringing us back.
Yes, that is great. So sometimes when we do this, you can combine all these techniques. Can you imagine dia punya serabut tu so that you can bring yourself back to the present?
You see, this is so important to know techniques kan. Because sometimes people just tell you macam,
Tools.
tak payah fikir banyak sangat. Yelah, memang jangan tak nak fikir banyak sangat. Tapi macam
nak fikir tu?
You fikir senang ke simply macam boleh ada switch on off. You know, we need techniques just like that. Yeah.
These are the techniques.
I hope that's very helpful for all the viewers out there who can have anxious thoughts every once in a while. I think we all go through it, you know, about different things kan.
Of course.
To ground us back, mindfulness. Try those techniques. That was brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you, Puan Anita.
Most welcome.
I pun banyak belajar from that actually. I never thought of that.
I tengah brain right now.
Dia tengah fikir sekarang ni 5 bau 4 rasa apa semua tu. Dia tengah fikir dah. Kuih tiaw. And for Kim.
Okay, jap.
Oh,
Come back.
okay. Come back. Dia tengah fikir pasal deria tadi tu.
My brain was somewhere else. Okay, faham?
For anyone watching right now who probably can relate to your character, what is it you want to tell them? What is it that you wanted to take away from Amy?
Okay. I think not just Amy actually. Everyone in general. And this is something that I realized at a rather young age.
Yeah.
And that I also realized in other people as well. Awareness is very important. Now there's two. And when I say about awareness, there's two. You have to be aware of the kind of person that you are. Say, you're a kind of person yang maybe kita orang yang baran. You know, we are bad-tempered. We have to be aware of it. If we're a selfish person, we have to be aware of it. You know, if we are, say, maybe we feel that we are lazy. You know, we have to be aware of it. Because awareness is the first step of change.
Beautiful.
I feel. Yeah. So, you know, if you are aware of the positive traits that you have and the negative traits that you have, then awareness being realizing that the traits are negative, motivation to change is easier as compared to you are saying that, no, I'm not selfish. No, I'm not angry. You know?
In denial je kan?
Yes. So, you know, awareness is very, very important. And I feel that also be aware of the situation that you're in.
Okay.
If you are struggling financially, be aware of it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
You know, if you are sad, if you're going through grief, acknowledge it. Be aware of it. You know, so if you are aware, that's when you realize if it's a negative thing, it's a problem.
Right.
You know, and that's when you have actually motivation to actually start something that can potentially make it positive, change it, you know. So awareness is the first step to everything, I feel. And if you are not aware, that's where it will cause problems to other people. For example, not other people lah, cause problems to yourself in relation to other people.
Oh yes, true.
Contohnya kalau kita baran dekat tempat kerja, you know, we will not have a good relationship with our co-workers. If we are selfish in a relationship, that's going to affect our relationship. You know, if we are lazy at our workplace, that's going to affect our job. Yeah, that's going to affect our you know, if we're lazy, maybe we are a procrastinator and we do not realize it. Procrastinating, that's now a whole nother issue, you know. I was a procrastinator. And realizing that you are a procrastinator, if you don't realize it, you do not realize that things are not going the way you want it to be.
Because
or not.
of yourself.
Yeah, because of yourself. So that's why realizing and aware of it, acknowledging it is very, very important. I feel that's the first step. Now that's how you have to start, you know. And other than this kind of awareness, there's also another kind of awareness where if you realize that you are struggling financially, awareness about bantuan is very, very important. Now during COVID, okay, where there were help for the needy.
Yeah.
You know, ada bakul, you know, ada bantuan transportation, health dan sebagainya. And other than that, we also have bantuan kerajaan, bantuan NGO, you know, per se. So, yeah, you know, if you're struggling with mental health, there's Miasa, you know, so stuff like that. You have to be aware that there is help available. And you have to be aware, first of all, what you are in, who you are, what you are struggling with, what you're facing. Then you have to be aware of the help that is provided and available.
I love that, you know, that's like different layers of awareness kan. Aware what you're going through and how you are, and then you can be aware that you need change, that you can help yourself, and be aware that there are help out there for you. I love that so much. I think that's why reflecting is very important.
Sangat.
Kan? Because kadang-kadang we in relationships ke in work, as per what you said just now, we always tend to look at orang lain punya faults, not realizing that could I be at fault in some of the parts, kan?
Betul.
That's a brilliant.
And I think just pulling that one thread from what Kim just said is understanding mental health help is also something that we need to learn. Walaupun the help and support is available, kalau kita tak tahu resources dia, kita tak boleh nak pergi sebenarnya.
That's true.
So sebab tu a lot of people macam every time bila datang Miasa ataupun tanya soalan mesti macam, Puan Anita, what is the first step? Where do I go? How do I seek help? Because people want the help. People want the support, tapi they don't necessarily know how to. So obviously through what we're doing today, hopefully people know, you know, where are the help. Macam, you know, just by following Miasa as an example, just by following other, you know, NGOs punya social media, etc., you are already within help. Itu yang penting. Kadang-kadang orang macam, aku tak payah follow lah because, you know, I don't need the help. But you never know because you follow, something crosses your feed. Lepas tu, orang lain tengah perlukan that bantuan. I nampak lah hari tu dekat Miasa ada sebenarnya. See, now you are already resourceful. So itulah dia sebenarnya.
What kind of services can we get from Miasa, by the way?
Oh my God, Miasa we have 20 support services, 20 different support services. So not just the helpline, the WhatsApp crisis helpline, which we are obviously promoting via Exit. Tapi sebenarnya kita ada peer support, kita ada family support, kita ada counselling, we do mental health assessment, we do therapy, kita ada art classes, speech and drama, kita ada pound fitness class, expressive dance therapy. Banyak sebenarnya, spiritual therapy.
Impressed.
Yeah, we do a lot.
Semua dekat satu center?
Semua dekat, kita ada 2 center.
Di mana tu?
Satu dekat PJ, satu dekat Kuala Nerus, Kuala Terengganu, and satu opening up dekat Johor Bahru.
Wow. So is it a paid thing?
B40 is essential services percuma. Tapi kalau yang M40 and T20 kena bayar lah.
That means macam counselling apa semua tu, it's basically they got a set appointment. Just call Miasa.
Yes.
And is it through the hotline?
No, it's a different number. Tapi through the hotline pun boleh. Like if you call, our crisis team will then direct you.
And what is the hotline number once again, Puan Anita?
1-800-1800-66.
1-800-1800-66. That is a 24-hour hotline for Miasa.
If
you need any help at all, mental health help, jangan kau ada rumah terbakar ke apa, jangan kau Miasa punya hotline itu 999 ya. Thank you so much, Puan Anita and Kimberly. This is one of my favorite episodes. I've learned so much, related so much as well. So yes, everybody, we hope you guys have benefited from this episode as well. Macam-macam yang kita dah bersembang tadi, especially about staying present. Sebab kita ni sebagai manusia banyak trauma from the past and also banyak anxiety of what's to come as well. But remember, stay present, and like what Puan Anita mentioned just now, mindfulness. Try to bring back your 5 senses to the present time, okay? Tengok what is happening around you and try not to divert your attention to far off places, Now, if you need any help mental health-wise, please check out our website, www.gempak.com/project. There are all the resources that you need for any mental health services over there. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Project Podcast X Syok, a collaboration with Miasa Malaysia. Assalamualaikum. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Can I select a quote?
Please.
Okay. This is something that I live by.
Okay.
Don't let your past determine your future.
Winston Churchill. Tiba-tiba Winston Churchill. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love that ending.
Bye.